Hey there, and happy tonight. Michelle Lee here, sitting outside of our RV in front of me, and to my right, our van. And it's a beautiful night to do a video, and I realized today, I'm like, why are my videos getting done in the dark? I have been doing them late, but even right now, it's getting dark before 7. Maybe that's an exaggeration, but it's pretty dark out. And I kind of just picked up on that today. Anyhow, as I sit outside at my picnic table, our picnic table, I am coming to you with day 10 inside the Video Matrix, Blast Past Fear. Today's topic is a fun one. Are you a risk taker or are you a play it safer? And for anyone that has met me, knows me, has spent any kind of a time with me, knows that I am. What do you think? I'm definitely a risk taker. Clearly my life is a risk. How we live is a big risk within itself, which is life on the road, leaving everything we once knew, from owning a house to the cars to having great paying jobs to everything you could imagine, everything. And to live a life in the woods, in the quiet, with peace, happiness, joy, love. It's our daily life, and it took a risk to get here. So that is just to bring you up to date on my current risk taking. But I think back to, basically since I've been little, little, as early as, my mom says basically as early as I could walk. She used to be she'd be sleeping early in the morning. When I mean early in the morning, I'm talking about 5:30 in the morning. And she'd be putting chains on the door, and she'd put chains up really high so that we wouldn't leave the house, because it was always, my brother's a year younger than me, and we would always leave the house. And we're only 2, 1, 3, and 2. As we grew up, we're there for a good year. And we'd go outside and we'd make mud puddles and pies, but we'd be doing this stuff. So so what did I do? I would climb up. I'd bring the chair over and we'd climb out the window. What was the risk? Having to deal with my mom. The risk was having what I wanted and having to, basically take whatever came to me for going after that. And as far as just risks in general, I basically, when it comes to playing it safe, for me personally, the idea of even playing it safe sounds very uncomfortable to me. To play it safe sounds not me. And one story that comes to mind, like I said, it goes back to when I was little. I used to tell my mom I was going to my friend's house, but then next her and I are crossing the Charles River up to our knees in the Charles River. There's just big river. We'd cross it to go to this farm, and we're not even in second grade, and we're off, when I mean off, down the road, walking to this farm. And then, not walking to cross the river and then walking to the farm. Anyhow, I digress there. Just doing all this stuff that it's usually was for adventure. My risk was always for adventure. And then I realized as I got a little older, my risk was, I like to use risk to make people laugh, because I was willing to do anything because it was fun. And so, being dared to do things was extremely fun for me. This one time, I'm 5th grade, and it's the bus stop. It's 7:30 not even, what time's the bus come? 7 in the morning. And I was dared to lay across the road, in the middle of the road, just lay across the road so it would stop traffic. And I just did it. I laid across the road until a car came. I had to do it until a car came. And a car came, and the lady got out and screamed at me, screamed how stupid I was, just screamed at me. Wanted to know where I lived, yada, yada, yada. And I just remember being scared of this lady, thinking I was going to get in trouble, but at the same time thinking it was so funny. And then I used to find that risk was worth the laughter every time. Oh man, there's been so many things. Like, okay, so one time I was dating this kid and he happened to work night times in Nantucket. For the summer, he worked at an overnight grocery store, and so I'd go visit him, and like he was working at night, and so what I would do is I would just bring my best friend with me, Lanny, who I've mentioned before, and I would just say, hey, now Nantucket's a very nice island off of Massachusetts. I'm not sure if you've heard of it, but we would go there. This one time we're on our way there to go, see my boyfriend at the time, and we just met a bunch of people on the boat, and they invited us to this party on the beach, and they're like, yeah, come tomorrow night, come check out this party we're having on the beach. And me and Lanny like, okay, sure, we'll go to this beach party. My boyfriend was gonna be working, so it was like her and I time anyway, which was the best. And so yeah, we didn't have a car. Like, you can't really have a car on these islands. It's very hard to get cars over there, and it costs a lot of money too. So you just have to like scoot around, get a taxi, whatever. And we got picked up that night. But anyhow, we didn't know how we were getting to this party. So we ended up like getting a ride to this convenience store. And we had only the name of the beach where we were going. We knew nothing else. And so we're just like hanging outside, like I told you, this liquor store. And we found these guys, and we asked them if they could go buy us beer. And they get us like I want to say a 30 pack, and which was way more beer than we needed. And so they come outside, and then we asked them if they could give us a ride to this beach, and these guys said, yeah, sure. So it's not just one guy, it's not just two guys, it's like four of them, like these Mexican guys, and we're just like, yeah, can you give us a ride to this beach? And so like, okay. And so me and my friend, I said I have like these rules to my risks, like no sitting inside of this vehicle. We'll sit in the back of the truck, right? So we're sitting in the back of this truck with these guys, and they're giving us a ride to this beach, which we have no idea where we're going. We just trusted in these strangers that they're gonna get us there. And they take a left onto, I'm not kidding you, this like, it's dark out, by the way, it's not light out. It's like probably like 9-10 o'clock at night, and it's they take a left down this dark and bumpy dirt road called Lover's Lane. And me and Lanny look at each other, and I'm like, oh shit. We're like, oh God, I'm looking at her, and knowing like at any moment we might have to jump. Like, we have no idea what we're getting into right now. And so like, and finally, like, nothing weird's going on at this point in time. Whoa, did you hear that? That acorn. These acorns mean serious business. Seriously, like sometimes I'm scared to be outside because they fall. They're like on steroids. They're like GMO acorns this year. Anyhow, where was I? So we're not like seeing any kind of like funny movements or anything. You're keeping a very good. I'm keeping a very good eye on the situation, and Lanny is just so good for like going with the flow and trusting that I'll take care of it, kind of thing, or I'll just lead the way. And yeah, so we're down Lover's Lane, and before like we thought about jumping or we were nodding to pay attention to jump, we see this bonfire like off in the distance. I'm like, sweet, they like totally took us to this party. And then they thought they were coming with us, and we're like, no, just us two, bye. And we just like ran off with our beer, and we ran to this party. Now mind you, we had no intention of knowing how we were gonna get home or anything like it. And so yeah, so Lanny and I went to this ginormous bonfire at this beach, and the risk is just figuring out how the rest of the night's gonna go. The risk was coming down Lover's Lane with a bunch of strangers. There's so many stories I could tell you. They're endless, actually. Endless. And I don't even know how long this video is, but I thought that was a fun story. That's a good story. Me and Lanny have a lot of stories, and I thank you for listening to this one, and I would love to share more on the subject. I really could talk about this one all day. All I know is that when it comes to playing it safe, it's not for me. And when I'm around someone else who likes to play it safe, I'm completely cool with that. Usually if I'm around someone who likes to play it safe, they are the balance that I need, honestly. Like Mike's a I'm not going to say he's a play it safe guy, but he's definitely the balance I need when it comes to being more safe. I'll let him answer his own video, I'm definitely the balance. He needs to take him a little, beyond those signs that say do not enter. Those places are meant to be explored. That's all I know. So, thank you for watching day 10. I look forward to hearing everyone else's videos. I look forward to you, the viewer, watching this. I want to know if you're a risk taker or are you a play it safer. And there is no right or wrong answer here. There really is not. And just because someone's a risk taker doesn't make them better or worse than someone who's not a risk taker. And someone who's not a risk taker, it doesn't make them better than or worse than someone who is. You absolutely need the balance in life, and without that balance, we'd all be so boring. Honestly, if we're all the same, it'd be so boring. And looking forward to seeing you tomorrow, and I thank you for today. Have a good one.